Currently, he teaches technical English, advanced technical English, business English, and legal English. He also handles the course Indian Culture and Heritage. He has already produced 4 PhD candidates, and one more candidate has submitted his PhD thesis. Further, 5 more candidates are pursuing their PhD under his guidance at WIT. He has served in almost all capacities in academics and administrative cadres, particularly as Assistant Director, HOD, BOS member of various institutions, editorial board member of many international journals. His research acumen can be understood with his impressive track record, 80 publications, which include 4 books, 5 book chapters, 20 papers in Scopus Index journals, and 20 papers in other international journals. He has participated at 28 international conferences, 8 national conferences, 10 seminars, and 20 workshops. He is the most sought resource person and has delivered around 150 invited talks. His association with various national and international professional bodies like International Association of Teachers of India as a Foreign Language, IATEFL, UK, International Association of Teaching English to Speakers of Other Language, TESOL, USA, English Language Teachers Association of India, that is LTI, Systematic Functional Linguistics Association, SFLA, Hyderabad, life member of Indian Society of Technical Education, ISTE, New Delhi, Indian Society of Training and Development, ISTD, Indian Association for Commonwealth Literature and Language Studies, IACLALS, India, prove his wide connection in his field across globe. He strongly believes that continuous professional development is his USP. Now we are very much delighted, sir, to welcome you. I welcome you on behalf of St. Martin's Engineering College, sir. So yeah, welcome, sir.
Yeah. Pleasant morning. It's my pleasure and privilege to be here today. I hope I am loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Share my screen. Just a minute. I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, sir. You are visible and audible, sir. Very clear. Please carry on.
Yeah. Now I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Yes. Okay, pleasant morning, and I hope today will be a really wonderful day. I'm so happy to share certain ideas about the future trends of education, especially in teaching and learning paradigm. And I'll be talking about the 9 important things about how it is going to change. Actually, this is conceived by ICT Academy of India, and they have recently, a couple of years back, they published a book, and I hope I got an opportunity to attend that program also. So the most of the things I have taken from them because it's most relevant and appropriate to talk.
So it's not audible, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is it audible? Is it audible
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay. And yeah, I'll be talking about the 9 mega trends of future education. And in general, if you comprise the future of education system is going to be the acronym I'm using here, VUCA. Any guess, wild guess about what would be the VUCA, VUCA? Any wild guess? If you have a guess, you can type in the chat box. The future of education is going to be VUCA. All these are acronym. Each letter stands for one particular word. Any guess? Any wild guess? What it would be? Fine. And let keep me posted, and I'll just go ahead. So the first one is future is VUCA, means it's going to be volatile, uncertain. That's what U stands for, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. The reason is as the day passes, everything is getting revolutionized and we are evolving. We as the teachers are not only evolving, students are evolving. So here, the first person we need to give it importance is students. Teacher comes as a secondary. The reason is students decide what teacher has to teach. You may wonder why. Because gone are the days what teacher says the student listen. No, that will never happen. Already it is not happening. In the future, absolutely it's never going to happen. Because we need to align ourselves according to the need of our students. If they are well advanced, you have to be super advanced. If they are super advanced, you have to multi-super advanced. This is how you need to handle the future education system, future what you call education sector. In case if you fail to update, you will be outdated. Once you are outdated, you don't have any place to play a role in the education system. So it's a pressing need for every teacher in every corner of the world, not only in India, every corner of the world, to keep up updating themselves. So how it is going to be there, and as I already told you that I'll be talking about the 9 mega trends in future teaching and learning paradigm. First thing, Guru-Shishya relationship changes. If you go back maybe 20, not long back, just 20 years back, how student treated teacher. Again, another 20 years back, if you go down the line 100 years, it will be a massive changes happened. But I don't want to go for 100 years, just you go for just 20 years back. Probably some of you are experienced teacher like me. You could have started your career around in 2002 to 2003. So how the time was at the time? How you took your education? How did you respect your teachers? And how the students are respecting you today? Definitely you will see a lot of changes. So normally the basic, the kind of a blame game by every teacher, students are not listening, students are not obedient, students are changed a lot. No, I don't say that. Because they are the students always. If you go back again another 20 years, when we were in these colleges and school, how we treated our teacher, it was far worse than how our parents treated their teacher. For instance, they won't ask any question 40 years back. Teacher says that will become Gita, Purana, or Bible, or Quran, everything. In that way, they enjoyed. But in our period, that is 20 years back, there were certain opportunities for the students, for us also to interact and talk, even though with a certain restricted freedom. But now the change is entirely, it is toppled, and you have to decide everything based on the student's requirement. But in the 20 years back, slightly student had to adjust according to the teacher. 40 years back, 100% student had to adjust according to the teacher. Because that's what Guru says, there is no appeal. But now, everything, whatever the Guru says, it will be questioned. That is the new mantra of education. Don't accept as it is, always ask questions. Even Aristotle says that. But that was not followed in the early period of the education system. Even right from Gurukula system, Guru is the final authority. He is the authority of knowledge, authority of the skills. Whatever Guru says, there is no appeal. But now the things changed. Even in our period, now it will change. It has changed totally After down the line, another 20 years, 40 years, it is going to be a complete change. So, first thing what I would suggest you, please do not play any blame game. Do not blame the system. Do not blame the students, because it is a natural evolutionary process. This is what in the early or practical we call it as generation gap. Gen Y, Gen millennials, and if you look at the present generation, their time is different. See, you could have got a lot of hardships in your life. It doesn't mean that your son and daughter has to do the same thing, because your father is a poor man, but your son's father is a rich man. He has a lot of other advantages. These students born with a lot of advantages. They born with technology. That's why the knowledge was constrained with certain people in the olden days. Now, knowledge is widely open to everybody. It has a very wide access to each and everybody. There is no barrier for knowledge access. That's the main reason for this Guru-Shishya change. Because initially they had to obey the Guru, otherwise Guru won't teach them properly. Now, even if they don't listen to you, they can listen to the YouTube, they can go to the browse the internet, they can get it. But I never say that the technology can replace the teacher. Absolutely no. But technology is the better alternate to the teacher. It cannot replace, but there is alternate. See, previously, if the student do not understand, if the student didn't understand anything, he could have asked the teacher the doubt. No other goal. Nobody else could know the answer. But nowadays, even if he has questions in the class, he may not be comfortable in asking the teacher. After the class is over, he will simply go to Google, he will try to find the answer. So, first and foremost thing in the future scenario, Guru-Shishya relationship, Guru has to emphasize, Guru has to make sure that his presence is very much felt. It depends upon the teacher. If the Guru is unable to make his presence felt, he will be no longer indispensable. He will be no longer necessary in the classes. So first thing, as a Guru, what I mean here, Guru, I'll be talking about Guru-Shishya relationship at the end of this 9 trend in another slide also. But now, please understand that you have to keep changing yourself. You have to keep yourself, you are it's like a company. Assume that it's a kind of an analogy. See, in the olden days, customers are very important. Next level, customers are very, no, you have to be loyal to the customer. Then next level, customers must be taken care. I'm using the analogy from marketing field. Now, customer is God. The new trend is customer is God. Without customer, nothing else. So whatever the customer says, you have to treat them like God. Same thing is applicable to us also. Even though the education system cannot be compared with the company, but for our analogy purpose, we can take, we are in the sector, education sector, our stakeholder is the students. So our customers are students. So students are gods. Customers are God. That's what the new mantra. You have to go in that way. So here it doesn't mean that should I lose my individuality, should I lose my, what do you call, a kind of skill set? No, not like that. But the role shift has taken place. You have to understand, you cannot be, you can no longer keep saying that I am a teacher, you should listen to me. Nobody will listen to you. You should tell them, I am not a teacher, I am a learner. I'm going to learn along with you. You have to go with this pattern. When you go in this pattern, students will like you. Students will hear the Guru-Shishya relationship. This is what the change in the Guru-Shishya relationship. You have to openly declare that you are going to learn with them. Because here, why it is important statement? When you say, I'm going to learn with you, it says that you are very open for learning. You are very open for the debates. You are open for the discussion. that is what very much expected from a teacher in the present day situation, in the future also. This is the number one. So what the teacher's role, it is not a sage on a stage, but a guide on a side. So teacher is no longer a sage. He is not a sage to preach everything. No. He is not on the center stage. No. He will be a guide on the side. Again, he is not in a center. He will be in the side. So he will project his students in the front, but he will be taking the back seat. That is what the new role. So now the guru is not only a teacher, he is a friend and a mentor. Friend and mentor. Third thing, he encourage this new relationship, the new Guru-Shishya relationship, what do you call, enforces the teacher to embrace the new reality of adjusting them according to the new customer. That's what customer as a God, or you call it as our students. So we need to serve the students. For that, we need to change. Students will not change. That's why the problem happens in the classroom nowadays. You see the YouTube videos and so many things. Why there is a big barrier, no big gap, a wide gulf between teachers and students' relationship, because we don't understand how the present day students are behaving. So even though it is totally radical change, no, therefore we have to accept. Accordingly, we need to upgrade. Version 3.0 should become version 4.0 as a teacher. Then only you'll be able to handle. That's what new Guru-Shishya relationship will happen in the future. And this is very important nowadays in the future, even in the down the line. This is already happening in the foreign universities. And their classroom strength is very less than 10, 20. So they have a personalized learning experience. They have a course where they do that. But in India, it is not possible right now. But in the future, it may happen. Personalized learning experience the student may demand. So the curriculum may be designed according to the certain group. Now we have a large group. The large group may become what you call a small group in the future. So we may offer to, we may be forced or we may be directed to offer personalized learning to the individual students. Individual, it cannot be a one individual student, can be a group of 5, maybe 10, up to 10. We need to devise a new system. We need to give a kind of new, what you call, learning. See how the tuition centers are taking care of the student. Similar type of original teaching and learning may come in the future in the education system also. We must be prepared to do that thing. And already it has started. That's what you have courseware as online courseware already started. We are asking the student to take NPTEL courses, other MOOC courses, and it is already there. It is personalized way. They can learn on their own comfort. In a weekly they need to spend minimum 5 to 6 hours. That's enough. They'll be able to complete the entire course in the week of 10-week time, the duration of 10 weeks. Similarly, maybe majority of the courses, if not majority, at least 50% of the courses may come in that way. So we have to be really prepared. Super specialized thing may be expected. So we have to be ready for that. And it should always, the new trend will facilitate open and transparent relationship. It is not nothing is hidden. You cannot, you can't be only master to control. It should be a very open and transparent relationship. Student will not have any fear, but he will have a respect to the teacher. You cannot expect the student has to fear about the teacher. That will never happen. Already 50% it is, even in the present it is happening like that. Student, they lost fear about the teacher because there is no necessity to fear about the teacher. Now, the healthy relationship already started in some of the college schools. The teachers are very friendly and they get the work done in such a way that the Guru-Shishya relationship changed. So now, these are the major thing, especially in the terms of relationship. You have to be mentally prepared to face the future education system. This is point number 1. And point number two, there will be a massive rise of self-learning. Already we are witnessing. That's what I gave a clue in the first point also. Self-learning. Self-learning, you know very well, the student, they will learn on their own and via online courses and through referring books and other things. It is already a very systematic online courses. Online courses have come. People are taking the thing. Even a lot of best universities in the world, they started offering online degrees, even graduate and postgraduate programs. So the people, the students will have a lot of comfort to learn on their own self, because we are following the hybrid mode. There are certain online and offline, both classes are there. So there will be already AICT and UGC has given certain mandate that student may take, I think, if I'm right, 20% to 25% in the entire curriculum. The student may can get it through online portal like NPTEL courses and other courses. There are certain credit mapping is already allowed. If it is autonomous colleges, the colleges has the own authority to choose the certain online courses, either NPTEL or any other international university courses. They can map with the curriculum, original curriculum related courses. Say for instance, one particular language, see, instead you think that it's a computer science program. So computer science student can learn a Python from online course, and that Python the credit will be transferred or mapped with the existing curriculum. So there are such a kind of flexibility has come, and in the future it will be more. So now what you need to do is you try to develop your course as an online course, whatever the subject you teach nowadays. Assume that you take at least one course, prepare a MOOC. MOOC means massive open online courses. Already some of you could have taken the online courses as a teacher also. Now it's a time for you to develop your own course. You take one particular, probably you may be handling 3, 4, 5 subjects. I'm not sure how many subjects you are handling, but take any one subject which you are very strong. Try to develop as an online course. And online course, you need to have a 4 component, 4 quadrant we have. One is preparation, another one is evaluation, another one is delivery, another one is upgradation or through feedback and upgradation or maybe interaction. So your course should be developed in such a way that first you need to develop material, then you have to develop an assessment plan, then you have to record your videos, then you have to identify the platform, how it should be sent to the student. Then you have to plan about the evaluation, whether formative evaluation or summative assessment. No, you have to plan. So take one subject and make sure that you spend one semester. You make it a goal, because all of you are attending in the month of June you're attending. So now it will be the beginning of the fresh semester. So before end of the semester, have a plan that you would develop one MOOC course in the model. It may not be a really full MOOC course. In the model of MOOC, you can develop. Initially, you can offer that MOOC course within your LMS, learning management system within your campus. You can offer. Once if it is fine-tuned, then you can offer to the public also through, there are a lot of platforms available like Udemy. You can develop your own course, you can upload in Udemy, and you will get paid also for that. But it is not easy. Just like that you can't do, you have to take care of every component, and that's what all the 4 quadrants you have to take care. Once if it is done, then it will be ready. Even the rise of self-learning, it is not don't take it as a threat for you as a teacher. You take it as an opportunity for you to develop more courses. So far, you have taught only 60 students in the class. Here afterwards, you can teach even thousands of students at the one stretch, because some famous university courses are taken by a minimum of 30,000 to 40,000 students across the globe. They take single course. That way, you will be a teacher to 40,000 people across the world. So that is the next opportunity for you as a teacher. And as a student, as a teacher, what is the disadvantages and challenges you will have? You have to meet up the standard to the international professors. So far, you have to compete with your own teacher. For instance, I teach English. I must make sure that I am better than my colleague. But now my competition, I must be better than my colleague in Stanford University, my colleague in Oxford University, my colleague in even Manchester University, in that way. So now my competition is a bit heavy. So I have to upgrade myself to the fullest possible way on par with international best professors. So this is the challenge. Another one, you can develop self-learning because all the international universities, only once they were like us only. Later, they understood due to the certain limitation, they developed their own self-learning courses. Then they offered to only their own university students. After that, only they opened it for the public. And for information, when the MOOC came into the picture, first all the MOOC courses were free. You know, all the MOOC courses. I took my first MOOC course even around 2000, I guess 6, 7, and 8, I guess. That time everything was free. But nowadays, if you want to get a certificate, you have to pay 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, something in the Indian money, it changes. Because now they made the self-learning courses as what you call, opportunity to develop and increase the funding to generate revenue. So you can do in that way also, it will be a revenue generation source. So this is the second important trend in the future education. It is already there, but now only the top-notch universities are doing. In the future, every university will be doing that. So you have to be part of that. And the next thing, what are the way the self-learning is improving? One is, that's what, so far I talked about the MOOC, massive open online courses, but all social media platforms also are also helping the student to learn. They are using the blogs to discuss information. They use the Twitter to encourage debate. This can be used. Already it is happening. You can fine-tune these social media platform and you can use it for the better learning. And you can promote these tools for the better learning among your students. And Skype to get deeper into the subject. Pinterest for sharing smart ideas. Pinterest is a website where you will curate the content you can share to your students, to other common public. And Google Docs to store and refine data, and project management apps to foster collaboration, and LinkedIn to build connection with all your field experts across the world, and YouTube to create presentations. You can upload your own class lecture into the YouTube video. It will be accessible, and you help your student to become a self-learner through your videos available, making your videos available in the YouTube. So these are the way you can use, but I have given one example, that's it. But you can use all these tools, you can exploit all these tools in a maximum possible way to make your classroom learning or classroom teaching in an efficient way. And you have to you have to encourage students to question things and ponder over ideas. You should not, don't dump the students, don't discourage the student when they ask the question. If you are making the student to ask more questions, already you are successful as a good teacher. And you have to make sure that your teaching, at the end of the day, it should facilitate critical thinking. If it doesn't facilitate critical thinking, we are not in the right direction of teaching. And that's what already I discussed. 25% courses student takes are on self-learning. Already they are doing many, but in the future, in India, it may not be exactly 25%. It will be less than that. But in the future, even higher effects bodies like AICTE, UGC, they are making it mandatory to take certain NPTEL courses. In the future, it will be definitely, it will, from the cap of 20%, even it may go high. We have to be ready for that. And this is for offer at least 100 courses for self-learning means, assume that your college is a autonomous engineering college or autonomous colleges, you have the option to offer courses on your own. The institutions are expected to develop at least 100 courses using their own pool of faculty members, and they should offer those courses in the self-learning platform in the future. Already the colleges slowly they have started, at least 2, 3, 4, 5. Some colleges they are offering 10 courses in the online way, but in the future it may be on the pool, because the major advantage of these online courses, Once you develop, it will be a permanent repository. The only thing you have to upgrade, that's it. Plus, you have to add certain question, you have to add certain, just you have to update the material, that's it. So most of the thing, it will be rare. Certain videos only you need to update, so it will become a permanent repository. And the student will be able to take their courses, especially elective courses. If you offer in this online pattern, it will be very convenient for the student to choose a wide range of electives. And yeah, this is a curate information on the internet for self-learning. You can, sometime you don't need to develop your own course. You can curate information, you can select, and you can give to the student for their own learning. That kind type of curated content also will be more useful. That's what I already told you, that Pinterest is the one website where generally you can curate all the online content up to according to a subject. You can share it to a student. They'll be able to. The curation will help the learner to find all the sources under one umbrella. See, generally, if they want to go to Google, they have to search, they have to find different sources. But the curated content, for instance, I teach pronunciation course. All pronunciation related material will be shared to my student as a curated content in the Pinterest. Then student, they don't need to go to anywhere else. Only they follow me in the Pinterest. All the material will be there in the Pinterest in that way. And third thing is a blended learning. This is almost we covered, because in the self-learning pattern, blended learning, you know very well, it is the combination of both online and offline learning. For instance, if you take, you teach a subject, blended learning or a hybrid learning, 50% online, 50% offline, or 40% online, 60% offline, or whatever, vice versa, 30% to 70%. Whatever the possible thing you can do, you can try. So I would strongly recommend you. Now, definitely, I know that some of you are already using this blended learning and hybrid learning. Sorry. Even if you are teaching full offline course, try to teach in the hybrid pattern. Probably at least 75% offline teaching, 25% try to hybrid it. Probably through you can post certain video lecture, ask them to do some work on it, or assignment, or digital evaluation, or whatever the possible thing you can do. Try to make sure that the blended learning and hybrid learning is practiced, or hybrid teaching is practiced. Because why the hybrid and blended teaching is important? Because if you keep on teaching with the same pattern, student may find it bored. But when you hybrid it, you instigate interest among the student. That is very easy for the student to to drive their interest and to make them to learn what you teach. So this is the next important thing. So my strong suggestion would be at least one assignment, make it as a blended hybrid assignment, and at least one unit. In case you have a 5 unit of the subject, 1 unit 100% make it a blended learning and a hybrid pattern. So try in this way, because when you try in this pattern, you can understand what works, what doesn't work. Accordingly, you can fine tune it. Future, when you develop your full length online course, it will help you a lot. And for the present course, and at least this is the one alternate to make the class effective. That's why this blended learning and teaching will help you better. Yeah, next important thing in the future, already see, if I remember, if I'm right, actually, we used to have one library called digital library in our college days. Everywhere there will be books. Only one computer lab will be there where you can go and browse it and you can take book, you can read it. We didn't know the journal, other things in the olden days, it was not available. Everything is a hard copy only. But already now, the students no need to go to a separate physical building called library. Not necessary. Wherever you sit, you can access all the resources available as a digital library, digital format, e-books, e-journal, and e-theses. You know very well, all Indian university theses are available in Sodh Ganga. All journal repositories are on different format repositories are available, like JSTOR or IEEE. Springer and Taylor and Francis, all these companies, they offer certain online databases also. It is comes where you can access the entire library informations in the digital. So in the future, it may be 100% digital. Physical books will be there, but the same book version of ebook version also will be there. So the people will go to library, but it will be both hybrid. One is physical as well as online. Both will be there. If you take, for instance, and if you take in our VIT University, we have almost all the journals and all the books available in digital format. Certain things are not in digital, but most of the journal and the other thing, especially if you take our researchers and all, they'll have access to everything in the digital format. All the journal, what you call databases, and most of the books and important publishers books and everything will be available. And certain universities, even certain IIT universities, certain books they offer in digital library also, where you can access it through their common. In online also, you have some international universities, not 100% library is accessible via digital. Certain limited books, certain limited journals you can access through online library. So that will be the future library future of the libraries in the coming days. These are the certain few global digital libraries. As I already told you that if you go to nationallibrary.gov.in, these are our library, and WDL.org, Gutenberg, it's a project. Gutenberg is you have a lot of books and general things are there. Then Battlebee, Biblio, books.google, Open Library, and other things are there. And there are certain websites that you can download full book free. There is a website called www.pdfdrive.com. Kindly make a note of it. www.pdfdrive.com. If you go there, every book you can download as free of cost. So this is how it is going to happen in the library. And next comes labs. So the laboratory will have, nowadays, even in the COVID time, we have used a lot of online laboratories. Already the colleges conducted lab in the online, and through certain LMS software they conducted. In the future, there will be a major shift from a building brick from the brick and mortar institution to the digital infrastructure. Already NTA, National Testing Agency, and almost all the most of the exams are happening in digital mode in India. And similarly, the labs also will be there in the digital lab. Certain portal are available, but it will not, what you call, the physical lab will not extinct. It will be there, but online labs also will be there in the hybrid mode. And AR, artificial reality, and the virtual reality will be there. That's how. See, certain labs and all through AR, VR system only, or IoT, they are conducting the labs. They are giving the real life simulations are created through the online labs. Students they see the simulation of the particular lab, and they see, or they'll be asked to develop a simulation. They need to submit it. This is how it happens. Some of you could have already practiced these kind of things during the COVID time in our college. And even otherwise, already it is on there, and there are a lot of online resources available. You can check it up, and even the government of India also has one particular lab like that. I'll show you in the. And one more thing, the last one, be the champion for gamification. Why? Every subject nowadays they wanted to convert into a games, so the student learn it easily. For instance, if you take an English, we want to teach you vocabulary. So instead of telling the physical words, when I add into some crossword puzzle and other kind of games, student love to read it, love to play the game. Along with that, he'll be learning English vocabulary. So this is how it happens. So all the subject contents are getting gamified. It is presented as a game. The student find it very easy, convenient, because you know very well most of the time the students are spending in the online games. So when you provide in the same way, it will be very convenient for them to learn. But I don't say that you should 100% make it a game. Certain things you can gamify to create interest so that the student will learn it quite comfortably. This is what the MHRD initiative, Virtual Labs. So it is a human resource. MHRD developed this thing, and you can take remote access to the laboratory. Also, just check in the Google Virtual Lab by MHRD, and you will be able to get access. And sixth important trend will be webinars. Already there. That's how I'm also talking to you. You are also listening to me. In the olden days, otherwise I need to all the way travel from Chennai to your place. Then I need, a lot of logistics are involved, and it is just really difficult to invite people. Sometimes the budget will be the constraint for such an institution. But all these webinars nowadays, it has become a new meeting point. It has given lots and lots of resources in a very affordable rate to the people. For instance, in 2000, I guess 13 and all, I used to conduct a lot of guest lectures, international lectures, using the international expert. My friends are there across the world. I used to invite people from US and UK, Japan. They would usually address my student via Skype. I am telling before COVID. So that time it was a big thing. I used to invite a lot of, every month I used to invite one international expert. He would address my student in the, I'll connect him via Skype and he would address my students. That was a great thing. I used to get a lot of appreciation for that. The reason is, so how it is possible, sir, to bring such a great person via addressing your student here? Because through you contact, you can establish. Now everybody is doing that because of the webinars like Teams and Gmeet and other platform. It made those things possible. Once it was that's what I was telling. This particular thing, once it was added into our performance evaluation, how many online lectures you have conducted, they normally evaluate. So once the revised form has come, a lot of people, they came to me, sir, did you suggest this revision in the form? Because since I used to use such kind of a webinar at the time, I'm telling before COVID. I said, no, I didn't say anything. They themselves, they added this thing, the authorities, they have added in this thing that I told them. Why I'm telling this, at the time, I foresee the future because I didn't have the budget to bring my friend from US to India. So I requested them, why don't we use the Skype? Then they agreed. Then I used almost all the class, my lectures, my industrial, invited lecture from foreigners, it was there. I didn't pay anything for them because they are my friends. But certain people, I have invited them, I paid them, but it is very less. See, you to bring a person from US to India, you have to spend even at least lakh for a flight, another maybe 10 to 20,000 for hotel, and all the logistics are there. Now, probably I could have paid him 10,000 to 20,000. It's very, very simple. So that is going to be the new thing. Now, what I would suggest to you, make use of this opportunity. You bring many international experts through webinars to your class. Let them address your students. You make sure that your students are learning from them. And you can do that. But don't rely 100% of this webinar. Then there won't be much impact. Probably it should be a 20%. You can 20 to 30% conduct as a webinar. 70% you bring the people to your campus. Because every time if you ask to address via online, it will not create such a big impact. Certain great expert, you can't bring them in the campus. So for them, webinar is fine. But somebody you can bring them to the college, but still you make it as a webinar means it's a namesake webinar, there won't be any impact. So I would advise you, if they are localites, they can travel means you can take them to your campus so that they'll get more exposure. And somebody international experts, you can use the webinar as a point to teach the subject. Because make a point for every subject, every class you handle, at least you arrange one guest lecture from outside. Somebody, some new person, you should bring in to your class and they should address. Probably one foreign expert through webinar and another expert from India. You invite them to your campus, let them come and address the students. That way it will be very quiet. Because See, even though they teach the same thing, there will be impact because the student normally they get bored listening to us. But when the same information what I'm trying to give, if it is given by a guest faculty, he will be happy to listen because he is a new person. He comes only once in a semester. So that will create a good impact. So this is what already clearly I have told you, so I don't want to discuss much. Seventh change is going to be anywhere, anytime examinations. This also already we have seen the online exams already the universities we have conducted due to the COVID all over the world, the people started conducting. But in the future, even after the complete normalcy, is restored, but still certain things you can expect the examination may happen in the online. Because once we understood online teaching and online examination, definitely these components will be added into the regular curriculum and teaching and learning somehow. It may not replace the entire thing, but somehow, probably 10%, 20%, they'll try to replace with the physical exam. So it will be there, you have to be ready for that also. See, the reason why this anywhere, anytime examination, and especially the major change, I would say that it is an open book exam. See, if you take the open book exam, if it is properly conducted, the questions are properly taken, open book exam is such a gift for the student to learn a lot, because even though books are open, they'll not be able to write the answer from the book. It is not what is available in the book, you should not ask a question, because the question will be highly critical. Even if he turns the entire pages, he will not be able to identify the answer. He can refer the book, but he can never exactly find the answer. So when you conduct the open book exam in the online mode or even the offline mode, the quality of the question will be very high. Obviously, it has to be a very highly critical question. When you test the student in that critical way, it means that your teaching is already should have been with a great benchmarking, and students also has to rise up their level. At the end of the day, the real critical thinking output will come. But normal pen and paper exam and memorizing the thing, they'll simply 11th hour they'll prepare. Most of the students, they'll spend only 1 week during the semester exam, they'll read and they'll get good marks. That's why they are even though they get good grades, they are mentally unprepared to face the companies. That's why they are not getting the job. So but once you make them a critical thinker, whatever the company comes, he will be able to crack the interview, he will get job wonderfully. This is the seventh one. So I would recommend, that's what you can try this open book thing in the terms of assignment. You give one assignment in the kind of open book, you tell them to prepare and you check their critical thinking. It will definitely help them to scale up their level of understanding, the level of the real integration of the practical, whatever they have learned to integrate into their real learning. Whatever they have learned in the class that can be integrated into the real life application. That real life application must be given as assignment. And the eighth one, this one already I have. Okay. So your students, future students, will not only get only one job, they will be hired for several jobs. If you take, for instance, in VIT, see, I know that in normal engineering colleges, getting placed in TCS, Cognizant, Wipro is a big dream for the students. But if you take in VIT, they would take these things as they call it as a regular offer. Because the salary will be around 3 lakh to 5 lakh. They don't aim for that. Our first package, the best package is 76 lakhs per annum. A student got it from a super dream offer. There are many students get more than 50 lakhs. 20 lakhs, almost I think 280 plus students got more than 20, 25 lakhs if the statistics is correct, but it will be more than that. You can check in our website under the placement. So here, One person will have multiple offer. He will call it a regular offer. That's what TCS, Wipro or Cognizant, one offer. Then another offer probably between the 5 to 7 lakhs, he will get one more. And probably even he'll not satisfied, he will try another offer, maybe more than 20 lakhs. So only he will take the offer which is higher, or the rest of the offer he will just decline. Because he will be hired for many jobs because he has such a skill set. He will be hired in all the companies. But he can go to only one company because we don't allow them to take all the offer. Finally, he has to decide which offer he is going to decide. Rest of the offer will be declined. So why I'm saying this, the students are in that way, they are coming up. See, gone are the days getting any job is fine. No, now they want to give a best salary and a creamy company in all the levels. They want to get a best thing. So for that, we need to make sure that we are preparing them in different ways so that they'll be able to get into the company quickly. Number one. Number two, for your kind information, nowadays companies, they don't want to spend any money on training. Some of our students got placed, they came back, they informed us, sir, some company, they scrapped the budget on training. Us, they are spending huge money on it. So they want to deploy the students the day one itself directly to the company, to the job. What is direct deployment? So the company expects the student should possess the skill set which will help him to take up the job immediately, right from the beginning itself, without any training. So then think about how much students should be skilled. That is what they're expecting. So similarly, even we have to upgrade our skills as a teacher, so that I know very well, teachers are not only teacher. You do teaching only 40%. Another 20% to 30% you will do filing and other thing. Another 30% you have to do a research, write paper, do a 100 project, organize events and other things. So our teach 100% now, not nowadays. This is what the new trend. Teaching probably 30%, research 30%, consultancy, projects, research paper, other thing, it will come another 40%. So you can't say that I am a very good teacher, I teach very well. You can't no longer be in the field. You must publish. Definitely all the colleges will ask you to publish at least 1 or 2 papers every year. And some institute very focused on, you have to publish only Scopus Index journal. So you can't say that I am a teacher, I will not publish. You have to do. That's what you have to do, multiple jobs. Here, multiple job means teaching, research, consultancy, and other funded project and whatever the other general organizing thing and ranking agency will be there. We have to provide data for the NAC, accreditation, NIA, and all those stuff, NIRF ranking, everything you have to provide. So you can't stop all these things. You can't say that I can't provide data because institutions are running based on this ranking. Only when they get a good rank, they'll get a good admission. Only when they get a good admission, will be paid well. So these are part and parcel. We have to, comply with this system. You can't say that no. So you have to be ready for doing multiple jobs as a teacher. And for the student, make sure that you are preparing him as a critical thinker, then he will get a best opportunity and he will get the best. He would choose the company. Company cannot choose. In VIT, student chooses company. Because when you have a 4 offer, he chooses which company shall I go, whether A, B, C, and D. But whereas in normal places, only company has to choose. But here the student chooses because of the change, the system, how we train them, how we prepare them. It helps them to have a multiple offers. It is not. You don't think that it is not possible to you. It is possible. Only you have to make a certain system proper, and everything is changed. And you follow the proper quality system. You will also able to do that. See, today we are practicing in VIT. Tomorrow it will come to your institution also. You have to be ready. That is what the future. And if you take the normal analogy, sometimes students will have, these are the from Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, National Skill Development Corporation, he said, that's what. The industry would expect new hires to be capable of staying consistently relevant in terms of skills and have the ability to adapt to disruptive changes. Skilling will gain more and more focus. Vocational education is gaining impetus, and colleges must impart such skills that will enable learners to strengthen the economy. It is given by Dr. Manish Kumar, CEO of National Skill Development Corporation. So it is our responsibility. So clearly, industry would expect you to be capable of staying consistently relevant. It is not you are relevant during the time of hiring. After that, you are irrelevant. You will be out. You will be out. In terms of not only skills, the ability to adapt to the disruptive changes. Suddenly, some disruptive changes means something overall changes will happen. You must be ready to adapt to the changes. So these are the main skill they expect from a student. So as a teacher, we need to inculcate these skills among our students. So that is what the beautiful analogy. You can be an accountant and an Uber driver. So somebody will work as an accountant in the morning, probably in the daytime. After the college hours, he can he can work as an Uber driver. It's very common in the foreigners because they'll have a multiple jobs. They'll go to in different shifts. Morning they'll do one job and afternoon they'll do another job. But whatever the way they'll be able to earn money, they'll do that. That's such kind of way also it may come in the future in India also. Okay, so for that we must, this is a one important thing. Look at the last one. In the future, people will learn, unlearn, relearn. Again, they'll repeat the cycle. First, you learn something. You go to a company, there is a disruptive change. Whatever you have learned, you have to unlearn. You have to unlearn, then relearn based on the company requirement. Then the same process, in case you go to some other job, again, you have to learn, unlearn, relearn, you have to repeat the cycle. So all these things comes under one particular category called learnability. Whether this learnability is highly applicable to both our students as well as a teacher also. You can't say that I got a degree, PhD, I'm a doctorate. Even doctorate, it is only to get a degree, but are you keep updating yourself? That's what learning. I would say after PhD, you should double your learning because the people think that you are a highly knowledgeable person, but if you do not know anything, it's of no use. So you have to multiply your learning aspect. You have to multiply the time to learn much better once you get your degree, doctorate degree. This is what the next important thing. And the last one trend will be the rise of the mentor. So there will be a mentor-mentee relationship will be there. If you take big company CEOs, they'll have some mentor. Mentor means somebody will coach them, they'll train them, they'll guide them. And such kind of thing will happen in the teaching field also. The student may depend on, they may hire certain mentors to guide them in every aspect. It may happen. You may have already, see, it's a disguised role of mentor is class advisor. Already you must be the advisor to some of the classes. Or some student, they may come to your cabin, they'll ask certain advice to you. But when you do it as a professionally, when it is permanently fixed as a mentor, it is a mentor. We have in VIT, we call it as a proctor system. So each student is attached to a particular faculty. He will be the in charge for entire thing, all his throughout his 4-year study or a 5-year study in VIT. Similarly, I know that in other colleges, they call it as a class advisor or a class in charge, or different names you may use it. So that mentoring will be more. In the future, the mentor may come from companies also. So, for instance, a mechanical engineering student will study in particular university or a college. He may have a mentor from a real company. Some, for instance, you take maybe a Ford company or a Santro company. Somebody who works in Santro, he can be the mentor to the particular some group of students. For instance, 20 students, he can mentor them. So he will teach them, he will guide them, what are the industry requirements, how those students have to improve themselves. So that way the mentor may come, both collaboratively with the teaching as well as from industry, the mentors may come, they may assist the students in the future. And the another, after this mentor, That's what the mentor will have, the role of guide by the side. He will encourage. Generally, some colleges you can, in case you can try to use this also, you can bring in your alumni to be a mentor of your present batch students. Probably if you are head of the department, you can call your alumni, those who have completed the course, you can invite them to be a mentor to a particular group of students. This will help a lot. The student will listen to a lot to a mentor than to a teacher, because they'll have a very personal connection. And when you bring in alumni, when you rope in alumni, absolutely it will have more, because he will take him as a model, he will try to emulate it, so that you can bring in, this is a certain example, but you can try in your own way, you can bring in certain innovation in this, but you have to make sure that this is going to be the need of the hour in the future. And the last one, the future teacher has to be not only qualified, he must be a multitasker, he must be empowered, self-empowered, he must be motivated, he must be more autonomous. You can't say that the college has not provided this, college has not given this training, college has not done this, that, all those things will not be accepted. So you have to be 100% multitasker, highly qualified, empowered, here self-empowered, motivated, more autonomous. Only if you possess these 5 skills, you are a future ready teacher, otherwise you are not. With this, let me stop. Thank you very much. I hope I have given all the things in detail. Next, let me answer your queries. So we have seen 9 things. How a Guru-Shishya relationship will change, how the rise of self-learning, blended learning, libraries, online labs and simulators, webinars, anywhere, anytime examination, how the people will be getting hired to several jobs, how the mentorship will change the future system. These are the 9 mega trends will happen in the future. And already there are 3-4 things already happen. It is happening. Only rest will take the full role. Okay. With this, let me stop. And if you have got a question, and I'll answer you. Thank you very much. And before that, just only 1 minute, and I'll have one more slide, just 2 slides. And let me. With this, we'll stop. Then you can prepare the questions, and I'll answer you. Is teaching a profession? If you consider this as a profession, absolutely you are in a wrong place. I would say teaching is a responsibility. It is not a 8 to 4 job or a 9 to 5 job. You are here to architect the future of the country. But if you consider this as a normal profession, you come every day 9 or you leave for 5, my job is over after that, means you are in a wrong place. So first thing, please understand, our job is not a mere profession. It is a great responsibility. The responsibility is nation building responsibility. Please understand that, accordingly you act. And next one, do we love to be a teacher? In case if you have already frustrated about your job, frustrated about your workload, and frustrated about everything, you can't do justice to a job. See, frustration will be there, but the moment you step into the class, all the frustration should vanish. That is what a real teacher will do. See, let me tell you, whenever I have a headache, people, when they have a headache, they don't go to the class, but I will go to the class. My headache will vanish when I talk to my students, because I love my job. It is my responsibility. So when the moment I enter into the class, whatever the stress, whatever the thing I have, everything will vanish. I will come back to my room as a refreshed person, because it will happen.
Excuse me, sir.
It is possible only for a responsibility. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Can I add a word, sir?
Yes.
I'm Lakshmikant, sir. I'm Lakshmikant. A teacher should be service and sacrifice minded.
Absolutely, yes. 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 With this, let me stop, and now you can go for the questions.
Thank you, sir. That was really enlightening for us. So before we close this, I would like to call the participants to put forth their queries, any if. Have any questions? Yes, no one? Students there or faculty members?
This session is quite informative, sir.
Thank you.
So I just found one participant, sir, F6. Are you there? F6? I just found. Yes, yes. Can put forth your query.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, my name is K. Vivek, sir. I'm from the ECE department, actually. So I put forward this query that you told that the Guru-Shishya relation would be changing. Will it be a better thing if it changes, or the regular times were the best times? What are your views on that, sir?
No, see, change is inevitable. Absolutely, it is good because we cannot say that. That's what I given my analogy. Every 20 years, just you bifurcate the time and see that definitely there will be changes. Those who resist to changes, they will not be able to grow. So it will be fundamental. I would say change is inevitable for the growth. So change is for good. See, when the change comes, obviously it comes with certain challenges. You should not feel frustrated by seeing the challenges. See, online classes, it is a challenge, absolutely. But anyhow, if there is no online classes, how it would have happened? The 2 years of education of everybody's would have been wasted. Only because of online mode, there are certain pitfalls. Student copied, student didn't listen to the class properly. Fine, I agree. But at least at the end of the day, it helped the student to continue the education without the break. It helped the teachers to continue the job without the break. So in that way only we have to take, but no, we cannot say it is absolutely negative. So in that way, change is necessary. Guru-Shishya relationship, when it changes, I would say it is better only. I don't say it's negative.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, any other questions from the participants? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. That was a wonderful session. Really, it was enlightening and all. Now, I would like to call upon like Rajeshwari Madam, Assistant Professor of English in SNH, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, madam.
Over to you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Okay, respected management, principal, HODs, professors, non-teaching staff members, and my dear students and participants, a very good afternoon to everyone. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I am Rajeshwari, Assistant Professor in English. I am going to propose
Ma'am, switch on video, madam. Switch on video.
I feel honored to propose this vote of thanks on behalf of our college. First of all, I would like to thank the management who provided an opportunity to organize this workshop and the entire fraternity of the college. Of my sincere thanks to Dr. P. Santosh Kumar Patra, sir, Principal of St. Martin's Engineering College, for making today's workshop a grand success. By his blessings and grace, we are able to make the event what it is. A special thanks to our workshop convener, Dr. Ranadhir Reddy, sir, Head of the Department of Humanities and Sciences, being the catalyst that inspired us to do our best and stand as a pillar of power. Thank you, sir. On behalf of our college, I give a really heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Rajshekaran, for taking his time out of busy schedule and sparing his valuable time and wonderful thoughts. The key elements of this session, the relationship between a teacher and student is one of the influential factors in learning environment, and focusing on deep learning that is extremely hard to quantify in a world that is placing more value on everything being quantified, and the emerging role of social media in teaching learning process cannot be ignored. It not only provides student access to useful information, but also connects them with the learning groups and other educational systems that make their overall learning process more interesting and engaging. And also, the approach of blended learning suggests that the students who complete online coursework followed by interactive Face-to-face class activities have richer educational experiences. Today, we had the opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this is definitely encouraging us in our future events. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and shown us a new path. Thank you, sir. Further, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude for all the teaching and non-teaching staff members of our department to take great efforts to prepare and organize this workshop today. Finally, again, want to thank the management, directors, principal, dean, academics, HODs, teaching and non-teaching staff from all the departments of St. Martin's Engineering College for the perfect logistic support and guidance has extended to all of us. And I also extend my thanks to technical department for their continuous effort towards making our program success. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank
you. Okay. Now, I'm very much delighted now to invite another resource person for today, that is Dr. R. Ramachandra Kumar, Professor of English in Science and Humanities, St. Martin's Engineering College, for our second session talk. Dr. Ramachandra Kumar Garu has 10 years of English language teaching experience as an assistant professor of English and language teacher, trainer in India and Vietnam. He was awarded Doctor of Philosophy and Master of Philosophy from English and Foreign Language University, FLU, Hyderabad. He completed postgraduate diploma in the teaching of English from FLU and Master of Arts in English Literature from Andhra University. He contributed through his research to the field of Indian linguistics. His research areas are linguistics, phonetics, English language teaching, acquisition, and learning. Sir, I welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam, for your introduction.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Actually, today's topic exactly as multiple intelligences proposed by Howard Gardner. But actually, we have to look at intelligence. What exactly intelligence is? But why we have proposed intelligences? Are there many intelligences like that? So first we need to understand what exactly intelligence is. Of course, there are conflicting ideas about intelligence. Intelligence is measured or immeasurable, and it is debatable. For example, I start with one example. We assign work to two members, and one person completes it in 2 days and submits. And other person takes time and submits 1 week's time, and he submits. And when you look at the assigned work from both persons, it looks same and the same output. So can we measure on this? He is intelligent than that guy, that guy is intelligent than this guy. So then what happens? So this is the question, just we come to this question later. But there are conflicting ideas about how intelligence is measured, ranging from the idea that intelligence is fixed upon birth. That's why some people say, most of the times, by birth he's great. By birth he's a singer. By birth he's an actor. But we say that, of course, many people know, I think you're from Telugu people, I think many of us. And if you see NTR Jr., we say that by birth he's an actor. And some people say the intelligence is in his genes. His father is an actor, the same gene he got. The intelligence in the blood. But these people say like that, and how can we measure intelligence? So intelligence is fixed upon birth, or that is malleable. That means there's a pull and push, and that gets influenced by others in the course of time because of other social contacts. Is it improved? And what exactly it's a malleable and can change depending on an individual mindset, at the same time efforts. There is traditional forms of intelligence, that is emotional intelligence and social intelligence. Emotional intelligence means from person but we acquire everything from society. The emotional and social, the emotional intelligence refers to the ability to perceive, control, evaluate emotions. Some researchers suggest that emotional intelligence can be learned and strengthened. How? With others, while others claim it is an inborn characteristic. People with high emotional intelligence recognize their own emotions. That's why there's a one saying, Swiya lopam buyarugata goppa vidya. Knowing oneself, knowing his weakness is a great education. So self-learning, self-introspection are very, very important for a person to develop personally, socially, professionally, financially. So this is very, very important. So knowing oneself is a great education. And that means others use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior, discern between different feelings and label them appropriately, and adjust emotions to adopt environments. But actually, when we come to social intelligence, is a capacity to know oneself and know others. But that's why many times people say that first to know yourself, then you come to understand others. If you don't know you, then you can't judge other person. That's why first you have to introspect yourself personally, then you can understand other person, or you can judge other person socially. That's why it is the capacity to know oneself and know others, social intelligence. Social intelligence develops from experience with people, because you have to experience people. Because my intelligence is because I'm in teaching field, I meet all the time my teachers. So the intelligence is the same. I get only acquired, that is the society. My teachers are society. I'm person. So acquired everything from my teachers, because all the time we discuss about college, about subjects, about management, and about education, publishing books or research papers, something like this. So my intelligence is only that one, but I can't get any digital intelligence because I'm not from computer science, and these people all the time live in software industry, in this cosmopolitan industry, and they talk to people and meet different people from all parts of the world in the digital area. So they develop that digital intelligence. So that is what exactly we acquire everything from society, from the social settings. It is more commonly referred as tact. That's why we say that he doesn't have common sense. It's called common sense. That is called social intelligence, and how to behave in society and how to get it. As a person, you have to introspect yourself. You have to know yourself, and you understand yourself. Then only that you can acquire what you want from society. That's what is called street smarts. But emotional and social intelligence is multifactorial era of interrelated emotional, personal, and social abilities that influence one's overall ability to actively, effectively cope with daily demands. That's why emotional intelligence and social intelligence are very, very important. These are traditional forms of intelligence generally. But from that, Howard Gardner proposed other abilities and proposed other intelligences, and eight abilities that manifest multiple intelligences. So now I share the PPT. Now we come to understand what exactly, not only that, and even not only that, and he proposed 8. 1 minute, just I have to share this. Bhaskar sir? Bhaskar sir?
Tell me, sir.
Yeah, can you share that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Otherwise, I share it.
No, I will do.
Yes.
Is it whispered?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I can.
Okay.
So then go for go up. So look at this, what a multiple intelligent. He proposed 8 different ways of demonstrating intellectual ability. It is how you learn best. And then when you go through these intelligences and you come to understand what you are, and you come to understand where you stand and what is the future, it defines, if you understand every intelligence and you come to understand what kind of intelligence you have, and your futuristic goal, and everything is decided when you understand these all intelligences. When you look at that and go up, he proposed these intelligences, that is, look at that, 8 intelligence. Recently also, he proposed another intelligence that is called existential intelligence. The visual spatial intelligence, verbal linguistic intelligence, logical and mathematical intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, musical rhythmic intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, and these 2 already mentioned before, emotional intelligence. This is connected with a person. There's a interpersonal and intrapersonal. So we come to that later. And the naturalistic intelligence, there's the other one he proposed, that is existential intelligence. Of course, he didn't focus on spiritual intelligence. It might be he was a scientist. I think he couldn't find, he didn't consider that one, he says, but there is another, and other people proposed, and they said there is spiritual intelligence also. Okay, then first we look at visual spatial intelligence and what exactly it is. Look at this, so you can read with me and you can understand it easily. So look at that ability to perceive visual thinking and the pictures, and you create vivid mental images, retain information, looking at maps. But I don't like, and some people don't like looking at maps, because even if you give me where is America in the map, I can't find. Because when I was working, I give me my live example. And when there is a place called, it's a beautiful place, and the people from all parts of the world, they come to the place that is called, the city name called Hoi An. This is a beautiful place, and everything is greenery and flowery and grassy, the fantastic, and all people come. You can't find Vietnamese there, only Vietnamese are sellers there. But only you can find many people, because Americans and Europeans, they came and settled there. And it's a beautiful place they went. Then I went there one day, I got stuck, but I couldn't understand where to go. Then I asked one foreigner. Then you don't have a map, he said simply. And so, no sir, please help me. Then he gave me a map from his personal bag. Then I looked at it, I couldn't understand. That means I don't have visual and spatial intelligence. That means from this, I can understand I'm not good at, I can't be a navigator. I can't be a sculptor. I can't be a visual artist, inventor, athletic, architect. And all the time, that architects, these architects all the time, they draw lines and everything, and they spend a lot of time giving the project. Interior designers, when they enter the room and you come to understand how to design this and how can I make everything beautiful. So it can't be, because you need to have the spatial and visual intelligence. If you have that one, that would be, and just you have to identify now. Actually, people also proposed, and many scientists and researchers said that, and these intelligences should be introduced in the classroom at secondary or high school level. Then we can design the lives of the students, they say, and they can decide their goals and everything, the fixed goals, they decide that time, at that age, secondary age and high school age, or at least an intermediate or degree. So they can, that's what many people say also, I don't know what I want to be. Just I'm simple, of course, I say most of the time, see in my classrooms, nowadays generation is don't care generation, they don't care anything. So because when I ask them, so what do you want to be and what are you doing now? Are you doing any online courses? Simply they say like that. No, sir, nothing. I don't know what you want to be after my engineering or my pharmacy or MCA or MBA, they say all the time. The problem is they couldn't find at the right age what intelligence they had. If they found, now they are goal-oriented. Now, as he mentioned before, the speaker mentioned, there's online learning. There are online courses. the Coursera, Udemy, Academy, something. They're online courses. They offer the prominent organizations from other countries. They're offering many courses, and we can learn that the courses that related to your goal and your destination. So that what exactly is missing. That's why I completely believe that it should be in the field in the secondary and high school, at least even intermediate, and we have to introduce these intelligences. But the people say there's an empirical evidence. There's an empirical evidence. How can we teach them these intelligences to the students when there is no empirical evidence? So, but at least we can connect, because now I connect myself. I can't be because I don't have that ability. So this is what exactly the spatial and visual. But when you look at the second, it's a verbal and linguistic intelligence. This is perfectly apt to me because I'm a poet. I write some poems. And I did one course in journalism because at the same time I wanted to be, and I practiced English pronunciation to become BBC news reader, at least a national news reader, when I started my English. At the same time, after completion of my intermediate, also I said to my father, I wanted to be a lawyer. Of course, even still, if anyone wears a black coat and I look at them, I'm passionate about that. That's why I like Pawan Kalyan in that movie, or anyone who is who acts as a lawyer. Then I mesmerize and I look at it and I stuck looking at them. So because I have that one, because this is a verbal, linguistic, especially I did, as ma'am mentioned in my introduction. So she said about the linguistics, so because I also am a linguist, it's a phonetician, so I have the ability of language, and that's why now I'm a teacher in St. Martin's. The poet, journalist, writer, I'm a writer, teacher, lawyer, I want to be, but my aim, the future aim is, I want to be a politician. I was translator. I translated when someone speaks in English. I translated before in some occasions. So look at this. Aptly, I feel that this should be. That's why I say completely agree to these intelligences. The ability to use words, language, high developed auditory skills, and elegant speakers. And a person who has this one, he should be a good listener. A good listener will become a good speaker. A good speaker will become a good communicator. A good communicator would be a auditor. A auditor would be the leader will be the legend, and he will leave the legacy. Now you can find that from this. You know, KTR. KTR is a wonderful speaker. It's a verbal and linguistic properties are absolutely fine. Now we can see. You can see, and there's a possible career interest. Now he's a politician. KCR and KTR. So any other, something like this, if we have, it could be, you understand these intelligences and you come to understand what exactly these verbal means vocal. That's what I'm explaining. So when we come to the other one, logical and linguistic intelligence, this is a verbal and linguistic. So so next you come to that other one. Yes, it's a logical and mathematical intelligence. But if you have a mathematics, the ability to analyze and reasoning and logic, if you're simple, you are good at numerical patterns and to making and connections between pieces of information, something, if you're curious about the world around them, something like this, and if you have this intelligence, and if you feel I think like this and I have this one, then just use skills. You can have the skills set like this, problem solving, and look at that, and classifying and categorizing information, working with abstract concepts to figure out the relationship to each to the other. Like this, you can go through the skill set, and then if you have this, if you feel that I have this one, these are skills I have, that means you have a logical and mathematical intelligence. If you have this intelligence, and your possible careers in the future would be, you would be a scientist or engineers or computer programmers, researchers, accountants, and mathematicians. Now it is clear. Before, but many people said that, and I have to mention something here. Research. Actually, many of us completed research at the age of 40 or 45, 38. No. Research should be done before 25, before 30 years of age or 32. That is the perfect time for research. That's a doctorate. When you complete PhD, then your responsibility starts, as I mentioned, the before speaker mentioned, and because real research starts from that. Then that means to get that one, to complete your PhD, and if you want to be something of a researcher or accountant or mathematician, computer programmer, just your goal should be fixed then. That's why you have to complete. If you want to be research, you have to complete it at the age of 28 to 32. Then your real research starts, and you could have. And now I'm 40. Now when you come to this stage, it would be in a wonderful position in the prominent organization. So this is what exactly just you have to think about. That's why these intelligences should be taught to the students in the classrooms. Okay, next when we come to no. Okay, the next one is a bodily and kinesthetic intelligence. Shall I go? Okay, the next one.
You can continue, sir. You can continue.
Bodily and kinesthetic intelligence. And look at this. That's why most of the times I say, and I tell students, your emotion, your speech, and your language. Your emotion, your speech, and your language should be synchronized. Then only you have a wonderful body language. That's why all the time in professional colleges we teach about body language and facial expression and your eye contact and the way you sit, the way you walk, the way you stand, your posture, your gesture, your proxim, and your paralinguistics, and all should be perfectly matched and synchronized. Then if you have that one, the control over the body. When you look at the heroine, that heroine name is Sai Pallavi, and look at this, when you look at her and your house taken, look at her dancing style, everything perfectly designed, perfect shape, like a statue. So now look at this. So if you have these like this and dances, and if you have that one control over the body, the movement, and if you're skillful at these and good sense of balance of eye-hand coordination. For example, eye-hand coordination. Let me say something. But when you look at the cricket, so look at that. When you bowl, and just the batsman, because you throw the ball around at 100 kilometers fast or something, then when you throw the ball and the batsman observe how you throw your ball. But because I talked past and I gave one example, the Muralidharan from Sri Lanka. In the beginning, when he started bowling, and batsmen couldn't understand. For that reason also he was banned for some time. And then later they got to know that he's perfectly all right and he's leaving the ball perfectly and absolutely fine. But then later the coaches told Sachin Tendulkar, Indian, those results, Rahul Dravid and Ganguly, and they explained he's throwing the ball perfectly and you have to observe this and how he's a leg spinner or off spin and how is the ball is how he throws and where he throws, observe from this. So because look at that, if you have that one, your possible career would be something is an athlete or a physical education teacher, or it could be something like that. Even firefighters should be attentive and active in this. It's very, very important for them, firefighters, because they have to enter into the fire, and they should be very careful. So if you have that sight and you have that intelligence, if you feel that and the interacting with the space around them, around you, they are able to remember the process of information, then their possible careers would be, and you have these skills like using body language, crafts, acting, miming, and using their hands to create or build expressing emotions through the body, then your possible careers in the future, you can find them. Athletics and physical education teachers, dancers, actors, and firefighters and artisans, and you could be like this. The next intelligence we have to look at, that is a musical and rhythmical intelligence. When you look at this musical and rhythmic intelligence, and look at this ability to produce and appreciate music. But let me say, sometimes when some people, when they sleep and the tap is open, just as simple as a dropping, is a dripping like that, then they can't sleep because they're very sensible towards that sound, because they have rhythmic intelligence and the musical intelligence. Some people don't care. Even rain falls on them, still they cover with a blanket and sleep perfectly, okay, without knowing. So this is if you have that ability to produce and appreciate music and think in sounds. My friend is there, he never listens to music in his life. He says, I don't like it. But some people all the time, they keep these and they sleep. They engrossed into music and completely they sleep well. So like that, they're sensible. If you have that one, if you have a sensible like this, and if you have this kind of intelligence, so look at the skills included, like singing, whistling, and playing musical instruments. And if you have like this, composing music, remembering melodies of the past, your favorite singer or composer, then you're possible to be a musician or disc jockey or singer, composer, movie or scorer or digital music media. In this field, you're absolutely fine. You can grow. So this is what exactly the musical and rhythmic intelligence. If you have that one, you can try in these areas, and you have to decide your career now itself. The next is, this is very, very important. As I mentioned before, emotional intelligence explained, emotional intelligence and social intelligence explained about interpersonal and interpersonal intelligence. This, when you look at this, all people have this, but some people can't communicate with others. But some people can communicate, that is intra. But this is inter. Just you have to understand yourself. So ability to relate and understand others. That's why if you understand yourself, you can understand others. That's what I mentioned before. So now, like this, if you have tried to see things from other people's point of view, you have to understand their point of view and your point of view. You should understand everything. Then you have this one, and the great organizers, and although they sometimes resort to manipulation like this, and if you have anything in your mind, and if you feel, okay, I have like this, I'm connecting to this, that means you have interpersonal intelligence. Then seeing things from other perspectives, these are the skills you include, and the moods, you can understand the moods. That's why most of the times we don't have interpersonal skills with wife. That's why we can't understand what wife says and how she reacts. That's why there are a lot of disturbances. Because we've been there for years together, but still we can't understand what a woman is, what a wife is. Because this is simply, because something lacking in this system. So now here, look at this. If you have these possible skills, and the possible career would be a counselor, salesperson, politician, because you have to understand other feelings, other emotions, what other person says, something like this. Then you can be a business person. For example, if you start a business, just you have to think of the customers, and how to think of the customers and how to provide the product and what they want. That means already you studied them, their emotional intelligence. That means that is intrapersonal intelligence. Then you start your business according to the customers' needs. So this is what exactly, and if you have that one, this is called interpersonal intelligence. And then go for other intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence can be. This is intrapersonal intelligence, as I mentioned before. But producing also very, very important. If you have this ability to self-reflect and be aware of one inner state of being, to understand their feelings, dreams, relationships with others, and strengths and weaknesses, then yours is recognizing their own strengths, weaknesses, not only yours, even others, and analyzing themselves and why he behaves like this. Or that my teacher should have interpersonal and interpersonal skills. Then only he can analyze the student's behavior, attitude, what they need, what exactly they want, and what the what they expect from the teachers. So especially we don't have this emotional intelligence. This is what exactly interpersonal and intrapersonal. And if you have this one, your possible careers in the future and of itself, researchers, it could be, and theorists or philosophers. So that's why the doctor of philosophers, because they can understand doctor of philosophy means it's not just anyone, just they take the chunk, that's it, from that area. They do it. But the doctor of philosophy means not from the area. The doctor of philosophy is given because of the development of mind, and you have the research mind, the bent of mind, that's what they give. That what exactly. So then that person is called a philosopher, doctor of philosophy. So if you have interpersonal intelligence, or that is called emotional intelligence, then that your possible careers are these. So now you analyze yourselves, introspect yourselves, think silently, then you come to understand where you stand, what your intelligence is. Accordingly, you can act in the future. The next one. This is the what exactly, this is the last but not least, but one, this is the naturalistic intelligence. And this intelligence, yes, this intelligence is the naturalistic intelligence. I think you know that. I think you know that. And hippies, hippies, I think you know that. And hippies, these hippies I met in Vietnam, and when I went to Cambodia, Laos, and Singapore, and Thailand, when I went to these countries and I met in some resorts somewhere, these hippies just come out of the house, they move, and they communion themselves with nature all the time, and they walk the hill stations, they walk through hill stations, resorts, and beaches, and all this. These are nature lovers, because they feel that if something is there, this nature is ours, this universe is given, just we have to go and like this. But they work in some places and coffee shops for the money, and when they get money, again they go to other place, a sightseeing place or historical place. These are the nature lovers. They want to see. You don't know. I don't know whether you know or not. They don't know where they sleep that time. Even in cold places, hot places, or whatever it is, rainy season, they sleep like that simply. They love nature. So this, if you have this one, you could be a very good traveler and related work, and you can forest ranger, landscaper, geologist, meteorologist, and something it could be is the possible areas of careers. And when you look at the categorizing, organizing, and living area, planning a trip, preservation and conservation, if you have these kind of skills, then you go for, and please try to focus on that, and you can excel on this. And there is other one, the last skill I didn't mention here, but he proposed, that is existential intelligence. That is there God? What is science? He asks all the time questions. Irrationalist and irrational sometimes, something like this, and he thinks like that. So that is what existential intelligence he proposed, last one. But later some people gave intelligence. Now people are calling there's digital intelligence, because many students are not reading books, and they all the time, whether the computers and all this, they can only read on computer, but not by the book in hand. So this is now they say that this person has digital intelligence. Some people have spiritual intelligence. So they come like this, they're naming any intelligence that person has. That's why, for example, there you can see many sannyasis and many many people, saints you can see, because they're very spiritual all the time. They have spiritual intelligence. So you can judge what's there, and if you find him, and all the time, as a wonderful human being, I can find he is a naturalistic intelligence at the same time, because all the time save the earth, save water, all the time is roaming around the world and visits different countries and explains save your soil, because he's a naturalist. He has naturalist intelligence at the same time existential intelligence, something like what it is, what exactly it is. So this is what exactly, and the spiritual intelligence and existential intelligence, now digital intelligence. So these are what, if you have, just go through it, and if you want, I'm going to send this PPT. So for that, now we have some worksheet on this. all of you answer them, then you find which multiple intelligence sounds like you. And I have intelligence. Of course, everyone has some intelligence and 3-4 intelligences. But what intelligence exactly? And you find yourself, oh, this is perfectly, absolutely. Then we can, through worksheet, you come to understand what exactly it is. Now break the intelligence into intelligences. Thank you. But Bhaskar sir, can you share that worksheet? All of you take your pen and you can answer on white paper or piece of paper you can get. So maximize, yes. Look at this, this is a multiple intelligences worksheet.
Can you see?
Okay, now, yeah, I can see.
Okay.
Just look at the first one. All of you take your pens and you can answer. You come to understand what multiple intelligences you have, and then look at this. When you look at this, where does your true intelligence lie? This quiz will tell you where you stand and what to do about it. Read each statement. If it expresses some characteristics of yours and sounds true for the most part, jot down a T. Jot down T. If that is true. If it doesn't, make an F. But if you gunshot, okay, I have this intelligence. If you feel, do it. If you're 50-50%, no, leave it. And if you don't have, write F. If the statement is sometimes true, sometimes false, leave it blank. Now look at the first one, go through it and you can answer all these just 5 minutes, just to come to understand what intelligence you have. Now look at this, I'd rather draw a map than give some verbal directions. Can you? If it's a true, T. If it's a false, if you feel but 100%, then you have to give that one. If not 50-50%, you're not clear about that, and just simply leave it. Now go through the second one. I can play a musical instrument. Any piano,
Excuse me, sir.
a drum, yeah.
Sir, make any student to confirm it means they can see that worksheet and respond.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We can see the worksheet, sir.
Yes, okay, that's fine. Please answer them and you come to understand your intelligence for your possible career in the future once you complete this worksheet. Now look at this worksheet, the second question over. And the third one, I can associate music with my moods. If so, you can, but I don't have that one. So that means I don't have musical intelligence or rhythmical intelligence. So the fourth one, I can add or multiply in my head. But nowadays, many people are using calculators, but without that, and if in your mind, can you do it? It's a 50% limit. It's 100% T. Okay, completely no, then you have to leave it, because I don't have this, so I can't be I don't have a mathematical intelligence. Now look at the fifth one. I like to work with the calculators and computers. And then look at the sixth one. If yes, yes, T. If no, yeah, but 100%. Now I like to work with the calculators and computers, and I pick up new dance step fast. That means it's already explained, you come to understand once the worksheet is over. Then go for seventh one, sir. And look at the seventh one. It's easy for me to say what I think an argument or debate. Some people, we conduct many speaking activities in the language laboratory, but some people can't express themselves, but they know, but they can't express. But all are the equal students from same media, like English medium, but still they're unable to express themselves because they can. But some people have language, some people don't have expression, some people have expression. Some people don't have language, but some person has language at the same time, expression, but they have no ideas. So look at that and answer them. Then you come to understand what exactly it is. The next one, I can add a multiple in my head, and I like work with the calculators. I pick up new dance step fast. It's easy for me to say what I think in an argument or debate. And look at the eighth one. I enjoy a good lecture, speech, or sermon. Of course, many students nowadays, and we know that, how we enjoy, and just you have to understand that one. how you enjoy, what you enjoy, which subject you enjoy, what lecture you, according to that, and what kind of lectures do you, mathematical lectures or any literature lectures, and what do you like. So according to this, if you are interested in that, just you have to answer. I always know north from south, no matter where I am. Go up 9. Just that means you have to have a lot of map, you know about map and everything about the world and the globe, but then you come to understand that intelligence you have, what intelligence you have, you're gonna get it. And next one, 8th one, 9th one, I always say 10th one. Life seems empty without music. And if you feel, just you have to do that one. I always understand the directions that come with new gadgets or appliances. Look at this, but I'm not good at it, and many people are not good at it. We as your engineers, and I think you are good at this. And the next one, I like to work puzzles and play games with the 12th one. If you feel that a team, the next one, go for the team. Learning to ride a bike or skates was easy for you. But for some people, still, I know that there is a teacher, and still he can't ride a bike, ride a bike and drive a car, but simply he walks all the time, or he goes by bus all the time. Otherwise, he takes lift from others. And even for riding bike, he used to have one rider. He used to come, but there was a clash between them. Otherwise, he went somewhere, and then that on all the time he goes by bus. And look at the other one. I'm irritated when I hear an argument or statement that sounds illogical. If you feel like that, you should be all the time. Many people are fastidious. They want a logic, whatever you speak. There should be reasoning and everything, arithmetic and reasoning, everything should be there. Otherwise, they don't enter the argument. If someone is illogical, they don't like them. So look at the 15th one. My sense of balance and coordination is good. This is what exactly is a bodily or kinesthetic. And then look at the 16th one. I often see patterns and relationships between numbers faster and easy than. And look at that. Then look at the 16th hour. Now 17. Just we had 25 questions like this. I enjoy building models of sculpting. I'm good at finding the fine points of word meanings. I can look at an object on way and see it sideways and backways just as easily. I often connect a piece of music with some event in my life. That's a musical intelligence. I like to work with numbers and figures. Just looking at shapes of buildings and structures is pleasurable to me. But some people, I like cities. If it is a big building and if there is a skyscraper, then I look at that and oh, what a fantastic it is. That's why most of the times I like to go to high-tech city at night. Then the look at the, just looking at the, 23rd, I like to hum, whistle and sing in the shower when I'm alone. Look at the 24th, I'm good at athletics. And look at the 25th, I'd like to study the structure and logic of languages. So that is a linguistic ability. Now look at that one, I'm usually aware of the expression on my face. But some people are all the time expressionless. This is called poker face. All the time we don't know what you think inside. Because the face is the index of mind. What you think here, we can express that one. These people, it is not magic. All the time, the question mark face. And look at, I'm usually aware of my expression. Look at the 27, I'm sensitive on the expressions on other people's faces. And you can understand the person, how he feels when you look at his face, whether he's sad or happy, exuberant, and how he is at the time of saying. And I stay in touch with my moods. I have no trouble identifying them. Then go for the 29th, sir. Yes, now 30 we have for the last one. I'm sensitive to the moods of others. I have good sense of what others think of me. I have a good sense. Okay, some people, okay, Veman, so what you think I know in your mind. But some people, when we look at that and your friends, when you sit, and suddenly we say the same word or same sentence and the same idea we express at the same time. Oh, that's clap, like just we give high five like this. So the same, that's what I want to say. Because if you have that kind, then just you have one of the intelligences, and we look at that and go for a multiple intelligence course sheet. Now go for that. Now look at this. Stop it. Place a check mark by each item you marked as true. Add your totals. Look at the number of that one. A number. According to number, if you get 7th number or 8th number, 14th number, 18th and 25th number, if you have these, if you jot on T, that means you have linguistic ability. That means you could, your possible career would be in this. That means you have linguistic intelligence. Then you try for that and you can excel in that career, in that profession. Now, if you look at the logical and mathematical, the same in the B, 4, 5, question number 12, 16, and 21. And the C, musical, 2, 3, 10, 20, 23 questions. And spatial, and 1, 9, 11, 19, 22. And 6, 13, 15, 17, 24, bodily kinesthetic. And 26, and look at this. Here, if you get in categories F and G, a score of 1 or more means you have abilities as well, but not completely abilities. That means that it's completely, you don't have these complete linguistic and logical and musical and spatial abilities, bodily kinesthetic abilities. And if you get to here and at 26. So this is what, go up, sir. So that is what a score is, and these are the 7 multiple intelligences in the students or in the children or people, and just you have to, now is the time, just you have to understand what intelligence you have and how you react to the situations, then what interests you, and then you come to understand what intelligence you have. I think it's time I'm done. So if you want, I'm gonna send this for all, and we can post in a group, and you can download it, and you can try for that, and you find it. Thank you very much, madam. Am I done?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So 1 or 2 questions, if so. Otherwise, we can.
Yes. So I would like to ask the participants, if you have any queries, you can just put forth your queries. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. No problem, madam. Yeah. That's fine.
Yes, sir. That was very enlightening, sir. Enlightening and encouraging. Now I would like to welcome Rajeshwari madam to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Respected management, principal, HODs, professors, non-teaching staff members, and my students and participants. Once again, a very good afternoon to everyone. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I am Rajeshwari, assistant professor in English. I am going to propose a vote of thanks. I feel honored to propose this vote of thanks on behalf of our college. First of all, I would like to thank the management who provided an opportunity to organize this workshop, and the fraternity of my teacher. Thanks to Dr. Santosh Kumar Matra, principal of St. Martin's College, for making today's workshop a grand success. By his blessings and grace, we are able to make the event what it is. A special thanks to our workshop convener, Dr. Reddy sir, head of the Department of Humanities and Sciences, being the catalyst that inspired us to do our best. Thank you, sir. On behalf of our college, I give a really heartfelt thanks to panel speaker, Dr. Ramchandra sir, for sharing valuable thoughts and experiences, which is the current need of the society. By using the multiple intelligences approach, you will provide opportunity for authentic learning based on your students' needs and talent, and also suggest that we all learn holistically but develop different capacities and intelligences which customized Instruction through schooling can further develop and nurture in each individual. Thank you, sir. We have
Thank you very much.
We have assembled here for the valedictory function for today's workshop on future ready learning and new challenges in education. This workshop is meant to focus on the development of the skills and attributes, replacing traditional learning with a range of new pedagogical approaches that will provide our students with the tools they need to be successful and producing curious, engaged, and resilient individuals who are able to take on the challenges of the 21st century. Further, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude for all the teaching and non-teaching staff members of our department, SNH, and to take great efforts to prepare and organize this workshop today. Finally, I again want to thank the management, directors, principal, dean, academics, HODs, teaching and non-teaching staff from all the departments of St. Martin's Engineering College for the perfect logistics support and guidance has extended to all of us. I take this opportunity to extend our most sincere thanks to all our guest invitees who share their knowledge, inputs, and experiences with us. And also, I extend my thanks to the technical department for their continuous effort towards making our program success. And I also extend my congrats and thanks to partakers for your presence to make this program grand success. Last but not least, a big thank to each one of you who made this workshop grand success. Thank you very much. Over to Madhvi, madam.
Okay, ma'am. So our two-day virtual multidisciplinary academic workshop on future ready learning and new challenges in education 2022 has come to an end. So I hope all the participants have driven home new ideas from all the sessions, and I hope that you implement these ideas in your life and get better outcomes. So the feedback link will be sent on WhatsApp to the participants, and kindly fill the feedback form and you'll be receiving your certificates. So we are closing the session for now. Thank you all.